Ok, a ver, muy buenos días amigos. Les saluda su amigo Logan y bienvenidos a este streaming de Call of Duty, no mentira, Call of Juarez para la Play 3 en español. Este es Call of Juarez, Gunslinger. Así que esta sería la parte 3 y nos habíamos quedado aquí. Comencemos. Estamos jugando así de hora en hora para que los capítulos no se hagan muy largos, para la gente que lo vaya a ver recibir. Y saludo para la gente que está ahí. Ok, todo esto por acá. Los memes me hacen reír. Ok, vamos a darle con todo, vamos a continuar. Saludos para toda la gentita y para los que están en el directo y los verán en resubido. Espero que se vea y que se escuche todo bien. Está fallando el chat del restream. Solo tengo el de YouTube ahorita. Ok. No se olviden dejar su like y su comentario. Pensé que podía subir por acá si puedo. ¿Qué onda?
I thought the Texas Rangers got heart.
Yeah, that's what they want you to believe.
Ok, a ver, vamos a ver esto.
You're done.
It was cold and a witch's tit and a brass bra that night as I fought my way
Está todo
past
bien,
his
¿no?
loyal compadres. To the very same saloon we're sitting in today. Look around and imagine this place painted in blood.
Ok.
Hardin was waiting for me, and
No puedo creer que ya vayamos por la parte 3 ya. Uy, ¿este payasazo quién es?
wait, I'm jumping the gun here. Let me back up and give you some background on this sumbitch. He deserves that much. Don't you think so, Ben? John Wesley Hardin was a killer. By the end, he confessed to taking the lives of 42 men.
Sí, está bien.
Fathers and
Sí, está bien.
husbands,
Funciona bien.
brothers and sons,
Ok.
men with families who cared about them. Families who put up money in hopes of finding justice.
¿Quién era ese payasazo? Vamos a ver su vida de él antes de enfrentarnos.
He was a bona fide folk hero by then, and had amassed a gang of armed miscreants and other assorted thugs. He and his men
Oh,
set
qué
up
caro.
camp outside of town, and I was hoping Bob was among them.
Ain't right, we gotta stay out here keeping watch like this.
Ain't nobody stupid enough to go.
Shoot that son of a bitch!
They didn't ask why I was there. They knew. As most of them were wanted as well. I figured Hardin was here somewhere, but to get to him, I'd have to get past his gun hands. And that was easier said than done, as most of them were as foolish and full of bravado as I was. I had to spill a lot of blood to find out Hardin wasn't in that
¿Qué es
camp.
esto? Daño mejorado durante la concentración, consciente de parecer más daño a todas las balas que disparen.
He was carousing in town with his closest friends. Hardin's boys apparently didn't want me to reach the Bull's Head. Some were hightailing it into town to inform their jefe of my unwelcome
Ok, hay que ir por el
presence.
campamento. Ok, payasazo, pues no los veo.
gonna shoot you?
Miércoles, estuvo cerquita.
Tell Hardin someone's coming for him. Stop that son bitch!
Están arriba.
Let the boys know we got another law dog.
¿Por dónde es?
I wondered if Bob was among them.
¿Será por acá arriba? Ok. Wow, el color está fuerte. ¿Cuántos coleccionables tengo que tener mucha rejugabilidad? Para tratar de conseguirlos todos.
And I steeled myself for the fight ahead. For as good as I was, deep down I wondered if John Wesley wasn't just a little bit better.
Como Ron Weasley. Ok.
Before I could test my mettle against Hardin, however, I would first need to dispatch his cadre of hired killers.
Wow, qué puntería.
Most of these degenerates were beyond redemption, but John Wesley might have been a different story.
Ow! I think I winged it!
I didn't learn until later that that night was in
Ay,
fact
mierda.
his birthday celebration.
Concentración y equilibrio.
God damn him! Damn him! Shoot him! Shoot him!
Munición, por favor. Gracias.
Die already! Can't get a good shot at it. Watch where you're shooting.
Toma, payasazo.
Die!
I think I already mentioned that I found
Ese ray
Hardin in
tracing.
this very saloon.
Ahí está, ray tracing. El reflejo. Me acerco y se borra, mira.
Suffice it to say, nobody there was happy to see me.
There he is!
In fact, I felt a certain hostility.
Miércoles.
You ain't
No veo al otro payasazo.
don't need no help. Kill the likes of you.
I was disappointed that neither Bob nor John Wesley were among the dead. But that was short-lived, as a moment later I was facing down the fastest gun in the West.
Ahí está todo bien, ¿eh? Mató a un hombre por roncar y a 40 por respirar. Ah, está loco.
I felt a bolt of adrenaline. Or maybe that was fear. He was well known for his tricks, and I knew I'd need my own if I was ever to defeat him.
Ay, me demoré mucho.
No, wait. He didn't hit me then. I'm sure of it.
¿Qué?
That man was faster than greased lightning. But being inebriated as he was, he didn't count his shots. And now, he was at my mercy.
So he didn't die?
No, I sent him to prison. Years later, after he was free, some restless avenger took his life. Shot him in the back in a saloon just like this one. Anybody up for another beer? Ben?
No sé qué pasó, pero bueno, pasó. Si suena algo es por el ventilador que está sonando porque hace un calor. Ay, menos mal que tengo mi agua. Agüita, causitas.
Thank you,
Agüita.
darling. Yeah, some say revenge is a dish best served cold.
So whatever happened to that Bob guy you were after?
Personally, I'd like to hear some of your other adventures. Like, I don't know, did you ever go toe-to-toe with a red man?
Yes, I did, Ben. I remember once I was after this renegade Apache, Grey Wolf. Strangely enough, revenge was also his primary motivation.
Wow, ¿cuántas historias tiene este paisazo? El juego no es corto, ¿eh? Todo bien, ¿no? Ok, vamos con todo.
A bounty was put on Grey Wolf's head, and that's how I came to hunt him in the mountains. Mountains so high they tickled the nether regions of heaven.
Hace mucho tiempo en una montaña muy lejana. Como Star Wars.
Grey Wolf was a Chiricahua Apache medicine man who had led a war party in revenge for a massacre against his people. The U.S. Army had attacked his tribe during his daughter's sacred sunrise ceremony, and the slaughter was unspeakable. I understood his anger, as there's nothing more traumatic than seeing those you love die in a cruel and painful death. Right from the beginning, I couldn't shake the feeling that Grey Wolf was watching my every move.
Qué miedo.
He led a band of young Apache warriors who wanted retribution and were more than willing to die for him.
¿Enfrentar a los apaches? Encuentra el escondite de los renegados. Qué raro, no carga el chat. O de repente nadie ha comentado. Puede ser también. El del restring sí está maluco, pero acá no sé. A ver, voy a escribir hola, ¿ya? Para no estar acercándome a la PC que está un poco lejos. Hola. Ahí está. Ah, sí sale, sí funciona el chat. Pensé que no.
They saw me before I saw them. And it crossed my mind that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But now that the shooting had started, there was no backing down.
Miércoles, casi me muero.
It was rugged country. Winter home of the Cherokees.
Ah, ¿dónde está el otro? No lo veo. No lo veía. Payasazo.
I admit to having some regrets about going after them the way I did. But then again, I got a lot of those.
La miércoles. Uy, ¿por dónde es? Por acá.
Did you find Grey Wolf?
Not at that moment, but I did find the entrance to their hideout.
¿Cómo se esconden estos perros? Ah, su que salado. Ay, era para el otro lado la bala. ¿Vas a ir mañana? Ya. Yo estoy acá grabando. ¿Qué vas a hacer? ¿No sabes? Vamos por acá, concentración y equilibrio. Ya el calor te hace efecto.
A deep crevice that led to a deeper cave.
¡Uy, mierda!
Don't tell me you're in there.
Oh, su
Yeah, but
macho.
it's not out of bravery so much as pure angry cussing.
Cuchillazo me metió ese perro. Bien colorido el juego. Pero, ¿por dónde voy? Por acá. Sale que está por acá, yo esquivo para el otro lado y al final era para el otro lado la bala. ¿Cómo me trolea?
See, back then, I had a stubborn streak a mile
Un camino
wide.
por acá y otro
I
por el otro
wasn't
lado.
about to back down.
So it was like pitch black in there?
Actually, it was pretty well lit, as they had torches on the walls.
Solo para salir por el otro lado nomás. Muy bien. Munición si la necesito. Pero para Javier Díaz, ¿cómo está? El calor, sí, el calor está horrible, ¿eh? El calor está feo. Me hace doler la cabeza, menos mal que tengo ahí mi agua.
How big was his cave?
Big as hell, Ben. Chiricahua had hid out there during the Indian Wars.
Ok.
They thought it was haunted with the ghosts of those murdered by the horse soldiers.
Concentración y equilibrio.
Cave was haunted with dead Indian ghosts?
To be honest, I was more concerned with the live ones than the dead ones.
Ah, para apretar rápido. A ver. Vamos a darle resistencia. En Ranger. Bien. Vamos a mejorar las otras habilidades también. No tengo que sea esta. Payasazos. Fuera de mi vista.
come you know so much about engines?
A few years back, I was married to 2 Mescalero women.
At the same time?
Yeah, they were sisters. Polygyny is traditional among the Mescalero.
So what happened?
Oh, I had to get out of there. Those girls never shut up. Both of them nagging at me all the time. Drove me half crazy. Haven't seen them since.
No, I mean, what happened with Grey Wolf?
Oh, well, I pursued him into the Cave of Death.
Acá está.
I came upon this flooded grotto, and that's when I
Oh,
saw
el
him.
color feo, ¿no?
He came to me unarmed and unafraid. His voice echoed in the shadows. And I sensed he meant me no harm.
You carry great darkness in your heart, and if you do not release it, it will claim your soul.
Todo el aire.
The sound of his voice put some kind of ancient Indian spell on me.
Escuchan algo así, pues por el ventilador, ¿ya?
As his story unfolded in my mind,
You will come to this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything that you are. The soul would have no rainbow if the eye had no tears.
he said I was a great warrior, a coyote man, unequaled by any other pale-faced warrior, or something like that.
The snakes will fight shadows of your past until a venom poisons your heart, and an echo of the song of the dead summons the spirits deep from within the mountains.
I didn't quite get what he was saying, but there was definitely snakes. And indeed, his warriors surrounded me and attacked me like hungry wolverines. They couldn't stop me, though. The Grey Wolf wasn't in the mood for idle talk.
Vamos para acá, para sin palo. ¡Hala, qué feo murió!
I swear I couldn't see any way out of this trap. But suddenly, one just appeared. Kind of like a miracle.
¿Qué carajos? ¿Qué pasó? Típico. Eso fue suerte, ¿eh?
I felt like I would be lost in that damn cave forever. Finally, I found myself back outside, perched on the edge of a precipice, overlooking a thundering whitewater river. To get where I was going required several leaps of faith, but no way in hell I was turning back.
Persiga al lobo gris, ¿ok?
I chased after him, determined to make him explain the meaning of all that
Mambo
mumbo-jumbo.
jumbo.
Mumbo Jumbo's right. Are you making this all up as you go?
A few details may be fuzzy, brother, but I am relating exactly what happened to me. There were dozens of Apache warriors aiming at me from on high.
Dozens.
Well, maybe not dozens, but there was a lot of them.
At least 3 or 4.
Well, more than that a little later.
El tipo que cuenta sus historias. Muy bien, concentración y equilibrio.
I had a steep climb up creek ahead of me and scrambled up those rocks like a mountain goat. I was determined to locate Grey Wolf and find out exactly what the hell he was trying to tell me. And wouldn't you know it, that crafty son of a bitch led me right into a trap.
What kind of trap?
Well, son, there had to be at least 100 Apaches around.
Wow, qué rico tiro, ¿eh?
100?
God be my witness.
Oh, come on. Who are you kidding?
Hey, I believe you. Come on, tell us how it ended.
All right, but I'm not gonna drag this out. Where were we?
You were surrounded by 100 Apache warriors.
Well, I didn't take the time to count them exactly, but there were a lot of them.
Sobrevive a la emboscada. Ok. No le di. Qué recio ese perro. No, se murió. Ah, no lo veo al otro. So much.
And in the end, a path appeared before me that I had not seen before.
Típico.
I followed it as I desperately needed to find out what Grey Wolf was trying to tell me.
Por acá. Ok. El color está feo, ¿no?
But it was like that son of a bitch disappeared into thin air.
¿Qué? ¿Se transformó? ¿Qué onda?
Never did find him. And never did collect my goddamn bounty.
¡Qué calor!
Thank you, darling. It's interesting how the truth can sometimes seem might malleable, depending upon your point of view.
Like how those dime novels make you out to be something you're not?
Jack, don't be starting trouble.
No, he's right. They do tend to exaggerate.
Did they exaggerate your part in taking down the Daltons?
Well, I was there in the flesh, boy, so I saw what happened firsthand.
Dalton Brothers.
Those Daltons were lawmen once, before they all went bad, robbing banks and trains clear across the territory. Until Coffeeville, of course. I was one of the citizens who took up arms that day.
Fighting on the side of right.
I did my best, sir. We all did.
Mataron a los hermanos Dalton. Me llaman cazarrecompensas.
It was early morning. One of my friends was a local gunsmith, and he handed out firearms to anybody who'd take one. You see, the Daltons got it in their heads to rob two banks at the same time. Two banks on the same damn street.
Jesse James. Ok, payasazos.
Story was Bob Dalton's girl was always riding.
Es amigo, es amigo.
He had no ambition. Oh, you're nobody next to Jesse James, she'd say. Finally, the bastard took his brothers to Coffeeville just to shut her up.
Entra en el banco y captura a los Dalton.
Well, the locals
Okay.
recognized the Daltons right off. Before they could get away, half the town took up arms to defend their property.
Perros. gusta robar, ¿no?
The brothers paid dearly for their stupidity, but everybody knows they had it coming.
There's more to it than that. I read all about that day, so I know for a fact that it went down very differently.
Típico.
First of all, it was high noon. A posse of U.S. deputy marshals were on the rooftop across the street.
Get ready, boys. They're gonna make a move.
The lawmen had been tracking the Daltons for months, and now they finally had them dead to rights. Among them was a bounty hunter feared by many a lawbreaker.
¿Tengo que bajar o estar acá?
This man had no intention of letting the Daltons slip away. They met an adversary that day who had no fear and offered them no quarter. The marshals tried to get the Daltons to surrender.
Ok, por ahí no es. Tengo que estar arriba.
But those boys had a reputation as stone-cold killers, so the marshals took every precaution, knowing they wouldn't go easy.
Entro al banco, pero ¿cómo voy a entrar? Si me caigo por ahí me muero.
The marshals tried to get the Daltons to surrender.
They'll give up eventually. We just gotta wait the son of a bitches out.
This bounty hunter knew that the brothers were far too proud to ever lay down their guns. He went in there alone to confront those criminals.
Ahora sí. Ah, mágicamente salió una escalera. ¿Qué loca? ¿Qué hueva con este
Marshal
juego?
shouted, "Where are you going? Are you crazy?"
Hey, where do you think you're going, dumbass? That rifle's mine.
But he paid him no mind. He saw a way to get around to the back of the bank. Then he figured out how to hit the Daltons from a direction they weren't expecting.
Ok.
From above. Fortunately, a water tower was right there. A moment later, he was climbing up a steep ladder, laughing at danger as he did. It was brave men like him who risked their lives to tame this wild country.
Oh, tengo que correr.
We've got company.
Heroic men like him, who did what other men couldn't or wouldn't to make this country
Ok.
free.
Is that Silas
Jim
Greaves?
Bowie,
Son
David
of a
Crockett,
bitch!
who died defending the Alamo.
Miércoles. Toma, payasazo. Ese fue suerte.
Over there!
Pucha, si me da, me mataban.
That's Silas Greaves.
Blam! He came away victorious, taking down those thieving Daltons.
Ok, ahora por dónde es, por acá.
His name was Silas Greaves, and when the dust finally settled, he was the last man standing.
Sorry, kid, but that just wasn't the way it
Típico.
happened.
Ahora cambia la historia.
It was early evening, not high noon. I was late to the party and Coffeyville was already up in arms. The Daltons blew up a safe and were all set to hightail it out of there. Those pathetic deputies surrounding the bank were dropping like flies.
Líder, el amante, el perdedor. De los hermanos Dalton.
I had been tracking those jokers for months, waiting for them to do something reckless. And finally, they did. Those stupid bastards decided to rob 2 banks at the same time in the same town where everybody knew them. But they still had friends in Coffeyville. Bullets, go ahead!
No hay tantos payasos.
Hey, we got us a hero. What's the holes in them? Those friends came after me like a pack of wild dogs, tooth and nail. They were coming at me from all directions. I caught sight of the Daltons running with the money and didn't want to lose it. Problem was, they knew the town better than I did. To top it off, I found myself in the middle of another shootout in town.
Ay, carajo, ¿qué me dispara?
No, it was the Smiths, I believe. They were cousins of the Daltons, and they were shooting at the Browns, who were shooting at the Daltons. Which wasn't any surprise, because those 2 families have been feuding forever.
Ay, no vi al otro perro.
Did the Daltons hole up in somebody's house?
No, it was the Smiths, I believe. They were cousins of the Daltons, and they were shooting at the Browns, who were shooting at the Daltons. Which wasn't any surprise, because those 2 families have been feuding forever. And since the Joneses are related to the Browns, they shot at the Smiths, pissing off the Heimhoffers, whose daughter recently married a Smith. Well, bullets were flying every which way as all the old feuds in Kansas caught fire all at once. There was a hell of a lot of pissed off people in Coffeyville that day. But that's just the way life is sometimes. Shit happens.
Ok, deben estar arriba. ¿No? A ver, ¿qué me puede dar este de acá? El de acá que me da munición, buscador de la verdad, pistas sobre pepitas. Aún no tengo todavía.
The Dalton boys knew I would never give up. Those Daltons weren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, but they always stood together. They set a trap to slow me down and allow at least 2 of them to escape. The 3rd brother stayed behind to plant me, just in case that trap of theirs didn't work.
Oh, su macho, estuvo cerca. Perros Dalton se van a morir. Uy, no.
It was Emmett, the youngest, and he decided to stand his ground and face me down.
I ain't afraid of you, Silas Greaves. This is where it ends for you.
He was determined to protect his brothers. And I understood how he felt. Taking me on all by his lonesome wasn't exactly a recipe for a long life.
Wow, qué recio.
Gonna send you to the bone orchard.
La mierda.
It's hog killing time.
Escóndete.
Gonna beat you like a red-headed stepchild.
Toma, payasazo. El primero.
But Emmett Dalton survived the robbery in Coffeyville. He's the only Dalton who did.
They say he was shot 23 times.
Well, Dwight, who do you think put all those damn holes in him?
23 disparos a la mierda.
But I have to admit, that boy had grit.
Muy buena, muy buena. Que si no tuviera el ventilador me muero, el calor está horrible, ¿eh?
We'll get those suckers.
It took me a couple of days to track the Daltons down.
They can't get away with this.
And in that time, a whole posse of local vigilantes offered to lend a hand.
Conoces, amigo.
To the ends of the earth.
They seemed as determined as me to find those outlaws. But as we headed into those swamps, it was like I had my own private army. There was no way those boys were getting away this time.
Encuentra a los Dalton en la ciudad inundada.
It was early fall, right? Beautiful time of year. At least you had the weather on your side.
Not by my recollection. It was damp and foggy as hell. It was tough to stay on a true course, so we kept an eye out for landmarks. It was autumn. The maple trees were in full color, red as blood.
¿Qué onda?
The rains that year were torrential, so the whole area was flooded.
La niebla y el
The
pantano
vigilantes had spread
desorientan.
out wide, and pretty soon I couldn't see anybody.
Ya va a estar pendejo buscarlos.
Bury them in the swamp. Plant them where they stand.
Except for some bitches ahead of me wanting to do me harm. So I had to face them alone. I wondered why my compatriots didn't come running when they heard the shots.
Recárgate, por favor. Uy, tengo poca munición.
Come out from behind there!
Nada por acá.
So did you find the Daltons?
Not yet. But I did have the questionable pleasure of meeting a few of their friends. The boys had established quite a reputation by that time, so they attracted all manner of riffraff to their cause.
¡Hala! ¡Cuántos soldados! Si no me toca me muero. Ah, su madre, cuánto avance lo pelucado doy. Son demasiados soldaditos de plomo. Bueno, vaqueros, ¿no? Ok, concentración y equilibrio acá. Oh, su madre. Un escopetero. Munición, cosita, munición.
And my reinforcements was nowhere to be seen. Point being, I was under serious attack.
¿De dónde carajo dispara? Bien. Así grita como ella. De los hermanos Dalton.
But luckily, a barn materialized as if right before my eyes. I scrambled up top to get a better view. But just ended up falling inside.
So, how did you get out?
The barn doors was open. About right then, I saw some suspicious characters running for the bushes. Of course, I followed them. But that goddamn swamp was like a goddamn maze, and pretty soon I had no goddamn idea where I was.
¿Está durmiendo?
Steve?
Típico, lo escucho roncar.
So I just started walking, and pretty soon
Oh,
Escucho los ronquidos de ese payasazo. Creo que no es por acá. No, no me deja subir por acá. No, no es por acá.
Steve. Steve.
huh? Oh, no, I'm listening.
Se quedó dormido el viejo.
Indians surrounded me from all sides.
Ah, ¿para qué no mates indios?
Indians? There were Indians?
No. I just wanted to make sure Steve was paying attention. Now, where was I?
You were following the Daltons through a swamp?
That's right. See, Steve? Dwight's paying attention.
No, I'm listening. I was just resting my eyes.
So, where was I?
The Daltons.
Right. See, there's a reason so many outlaw gangs are made up of brothers. Being a brother is a very sacred thing. It's a bond like no other.
¿Por dónde carajos es?
Bounty hunter! Stop that, son So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet, but I did find a few of their cousins. You Kansans breed like rabbits. More Smiths or Heimhoffers or who knows what.
La miércoles.
But hell, what's more important than family? I'll bet Ben knows what I'm talking about.
Bury him in the swamp! Temperate son of a bitch!
Ni una le cayó, qué típico. Toma, payasazo. Bien. ¡Hala! Se murió.
Waste your bullets. Go ahead.
¡Ay, miércoles! ¿Cómo disparan esos perros? ¡Oh! Dios santo con estos. No lo veo. Por acá debe haber otro. Hola para el Brandon, ¿cómo está causita? Acá pasando el Call of Duty, digo el Call of Juarez. La piola. Muy bien. Con las justicias. Ya se filtró el Resident 3. Ya lo vi completito ayer. Por eso no hice stream, porque me quedé viéndolo. Y luego me dormí. Ya cuando me desperté eran las 4 o 5 de la mañana. No me di cuenta de la hora del... cuando estaba viendo el Resident 3. Hay partes que la gente va a odiar
standing together against anyone.
Hay cosas que no aparecen, que están en el original, pero no en este Resident. Ya cuando estemos jugando el Fortnite yo les cuento más tranquilo. Para debatir sobre eso.
And that's when I saw it. A goddamn steamboat.
A steamboat in a swamp?
Yeah, Steve, but this wasn't much more than a wreck, really.
But how'd a damn steamboat end up in the swamps?
Yes, it floated off during the flood of '89.
Now, was it a stern wheeler or a side wheeler?
What? Does that really make a difference, Steve? It was a steamboat with a goddamn army on board. It was in that a fusillade of bullets come raining down from on high, and those vigilantes who accompanied me weren't anywhere to be found. But among those men that were shooting at me, I thought I saw some familiar faces. Somewhere up there, the Daltons were waiting on me.
Ok. O sea, mecharnos contra esos perros. Esto me hace recordar una de las misiones de Red Dead Redemption.
Sounds like you don't give up too easy.
That's the kind of man I am, Ben. I set out to do something. I do it. Surrender just ain't in my nature. Plus, I'm stubborn as hell.
Just kill Red?
Ok, vamos con cuidado, ya. Concentración y equilibrio. Vamos, vamos, vamos. Espera, yo bajé por acá. Y tengo que ir por acá.
Right about then, much to my relief, the vigilantes finally arrived. Their leader motioned at a cabin in the middle of the top deck, pointing me directly at the Daltons. I finally had them, after months of dogged pursuit. It turned out that they had me.
Lo atrapan a él.
I'm sending you to hell!
The Daltons had played me like a fiddle. Apparently, the vigilantes were on their damn payroll. They didn't just want to shoot me. They wanted to burn me alive. But finding my way out of a burning labyrinth proved to be quite a challenge.
It was a riverboat, right? I mean, it's not like it was a goddamn ocean liner.
Well, yeah, but I was in
Did
a
you
fight.
hear about that ship that's gonna launch next year? Largest one in the world.
You're
Well,
talking about the Titanic. If you ask me, it's too blessed big. and I'm thinking of even float.
So anyway...
Don't be stupid, Steve. They know what they're doing. They say that the Titanic is unsinkable.
Oh, God.
But getting back to that steamboat, how'd you get off it, Mr. Grease?
I took in a lot of smoke that day, so I admit my recollection might be a bit hazy. But somehow I managed to finally disembark. I was coughing up smoke and pretty damn pissed. I was done playing games with those boys. It was time to settle this once and for all.
Uy, había matado al último, qué cólera. Che, esa máquina. Ah, miércoles, ¿cuántos salen? ¡Todo el payasazo!
Bob and Grad weren't about to come at me one at
Wow.
a time. They were in this together.
Trofeo. Bueno.
Two brothers side by side, determined to take me down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side.
Ah, primero era el de la derecha. Ok, ok. Qué hueva. ¿Qué onda? Está difícil esta parte. Hola, Pata Nelson. ¿Cómo está, causita? Está difícil esta parte. Tomen,
They
payasazos.
got it wrong. A sad end for those two. If they'd only known that Emmett was still alive despite his wounds.
Bien.
Paroled 14 years later. He moved to California and sold real estate and lived off the legend of that fateful
14
day
años lo tuvieran encerrado, pobrecito.
and the tragic death of his two brothers.
Ojalá que se porte bien en internet. Está sonando y están trabajando al costado, ven.
My own brothers died tragically as well, truth be told.
Ok, vamos a sacar este capítulo acá y vamos a darle ahorita el capítulo 4 ya.
It was
Para darle con todo.
1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle into Juarez, Mexico. One night after my brothers retired for the evening, I found a little poker game in a cantina with a couple of cowboys. And I just couldn't lose. I even won an old Spanish coin that had to be 100 years old. Well, I was mighty pleased with myself the next morning as my brothers and I rode for Texas. But before we crossed the border, those cowboys caught up with us. It was Johnny Ringo, Roscoe Bob Bryant, and another asshole named Jim. They wanted their money back and everything else we had, including our lives, as those boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy." Well, those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, they were already dead. And right then I swore to myself that I would avenge them. Ringo you know about. But Bob eluded me, until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch.
El malogrado salto al tren. ¡Hala, qué cala! Ya estamos recuperando lo que ayer no hicimos stream. Y eso que está el ventilador ahí detrásito. ¡Hala, qué rico!
I'd been on their trail for months, ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains.
Ok, vamos a sacar este capítulo acá y ahorita le vamos a poner la lista de reproducción y a poner la parte 4, ¿ya? Volvemos 5 minutitos. Se despide su amigo Logan, hasta luego, chao chao. Apoyen la serie que ahorita ya se acaba.